All right. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that's all about perspective. We're going to explore the world of autism, but maybe not in the way you're used to. We're going to move past simple definitions and try to understand it as a truly unique and valuable way of being.
So let's just start with the most important question right off the bat, because it really frames everything else we're about to discuss. What happens when we get autism wrong? What's the real cost? And this quote from Carrie Magro, it just hits the nail on the head. Autism is not a tragedy. Ignorance is the tragedy. This one idea completely flips the script. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the real struggle isn't autism itself, but the way the world sees it and reacts to it.
Okay, so for our first section, we're really going to challenge the premise, the foundation of how we usually think about autism. We're going to step away from all the talk about deficits and disorders and instead explore it as simply a different way of being. This right here, this thought from Jim Sinclair is an absolute game changer. Think about it. It shifts our whole understanding from autism being something a person has, like a disease or an accessory, to something that is a core part of who they are. It's not an add-on, it's a fundamental way of being. And building on that idea, this definition, which is inspired by the work of Dr. Stephen Shore, gives us a much more balanced picture. An autistic person thinks differently. Simple as that. And that difference comes with its own unique set of strengths and challenges. See? It's the whole picture, not just one side of the coin.
And who could say it better than the amazing Temple Grandin? In just 3 little words, she captures the entire spirit of this idea. Different, not less. That's the heart of neurodiversity right there. These variations in our brains are just that, variations, not mistakes, not deficits. So, if autism is just a different way of being, you might be asking, well, where does all the struggle come from? That's a great question, and in this next part, we're going to talk about that friction, the friction that comes from being misunderstood. Paul Collins gives us such a powerful metaphor here. Just picture it, a square peg and a round hole. The problem isn't that the peg is wrong or stubborn for being square. The real problem, the real damage, comes from trying to violently force it into a shape it was never meant to fit. And here's the stark reality of that metaphor laid out for us. The goal is flawed from the start, trying to pound the peg into conformity. And the tragic result? It's not a round peg. It's a broken one, a destroyed one. So all of this leads to a pretty critical realization, doesn't it? The struggle isn't inherent to the person. It's the environment. The friction happens when a person is forced to navigate a world that, frankly, wasn't built for them. Okay, so if the problem is that mismatch between the person and the environment, then the solution can't be to change the person. The solution has to be to change our perspective. And this right here is the turning point. Dr. Barry Prisant really lays down the challenge for us. He's saying, look, instead of spending all this energy trying to fix autistic people, what if we turn that lens around and focus on fixing our own perspective, on fixing the environment? And this gives us a really clear path forward. It's a journey, right? It starts with awareness, just knowing about something. But you can't stop there. You have to move into acceptance. And from that acceptance, you can finally take action and create genuine inclusion. And this distinction is so, so important. Awareness is a good start, for sure, but it's not the finish line. The real goal, the thing that actually makes a difference, is acceptance. It's about truly valuing people for exactly who they are. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Autism is not a choice, but acceptance is. It's an active decision. It's something we have the power to choose every single day. But you know what? We can actually go even further. We can move beyond just acceptance and get to a place where we're actively celebrating these unique minds, where we're focused on discovering the incredible strengths they bring to the table. I love this quote because it holds both truths at once. Yes, there are absolutely challenges, but there is also brilliance. A different way of processing the world can lead to extraordinary insights, incredible focus, and amazing talents. So what can these gifts of difference look like? Well, it's seeing the world from an angle no one else does. It's having unique talents that come from that different wiring. It's teaching the rest of us new ways to solve problems. And sometimes, it's about showing us how to find profound joy in the smallest of victories. And Temple Grandin reminds us that this isn't just a feel-good idea, It's a necessity. If we're going to solve the huge, complex problems facing our world, we absolutely need every kind of mind we can get, all working together. And that idea of working together brings us to our final section. This is about building an inclusive world. It's really a call to community, a responsibility that we all share. These words from Robert Insull are just so true here. When we create a society where autistic people can truly thrive, we're not just lifting them up, we are lifting up all of us. We build a world that's more flexible, more compassionate, and way more innovative for everybody. You know, if there's one thought that perfectly wraps up everything we've talked about, it has to be this one from Audre Lorde. The problem was never the differences themselves. The problem is our own inability to see them, to accept them, and ultimately, to celebrate them. And that really brings it all down to one simple, powerful truth. The choice is ours. So I'll leave you with this question. Which will we choose? Ignorance or understanding? Will we see a tragedy to mourn or a difference to celebrate? The choice and the role you play in all of this, well, that's up to you.